Barry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Awesome.
I can hear you. We're gonna start. We're gonna start in a. Oop, there you go. My screen is corrected now. Yeah, we're gonna start here, folks, in about 5 minutes. Folks, we're gonna start in about 2 minutes here. We definitely will start on time. Some folks will probably mosey in afterwards, but we're gonna start on time for those that have arrived on time.
Awesome.
Great. Hey, so welcome to our webinar, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started. Today, we're going to be talking about how to get started with proven marketing and lead generation. And specifically, we're going to be getting into how to do it with postcards and with Facebook advertising. And I'm going to get into introductions here. My name is Barry Kazire. I'm the national educator, speaker for PostCardMania, and I do a lot of education. I've been a marketing consultant for over 15 years, helping thousands of small businesses and training them on how to use marketing tools. And I'm really happy to have here with me today Ed Dearborn. Ed, you want to introduce yourself and tell us about yourself and your company?
Real quick, Edwin Dearborn. I am the co-founder and CEO of Premier Lead Systems. And what we do is we help small, medium businesses leverage the power of YouTube, Facebook, and the internet to attract their ideal clients.
Great. Good. Thanks for being here, Ed, by the way.
Well, thank you for having me.
Ed's going to be handling the Facebook section today because they focus a lot on Facebook. And of course, I'm going to be talking about postcards as I'm talking here from PostCardMania. And I'll tell you who my boss is as well, really quick. This is my boss, Joy Jandusa, her husband, Sam, who has his own business, her two sons, who both work here at PostCardMania, and her puppies. And yeah, PostCardMania is a very dog-friendly environment, as you might guess. I'll tell you a little bit about PostCardMania, and there's sort of a marketing story in here as well, and it's really about consistency and marketing. And Joy started her company back in 1998, just in this little cottage, about 6 staff, when she started PostCardMania. She was doing graphic design, doing various print and collateral material for different companies, and she really started pushing postcards to market herself back in 1998, and she did it really consistently, starting off with 1,000 postcards a week, and every single week sending out the postcards. She reached a certain plateau in her income, and she increased it to 2,500 postcards a week, which is a pretty substantial amount of postage, as you can imagine. She did that consistently, and her income went up again and reached another plateau, and she decided, well, I should double it, because if I double it, I'm going to have a similar result. But that was a lot of postage money to commit to 5,000 postcards every week. But she did it. She committed to 5,000 postcards a week for 6 weeks, and within 4 weeks, her income doubled, which is amazing. These days, we send out about 180,000 postcards a week, and I imagine we're probably our largest client, but we've grown. She's grown from 6 staff in a small little cottage to over 200 staff, 65,000 square feet, and 49 million a year. And the story and the lesson there is consistency in marketing, just really hitting it and hitting it and hitting it again and again, and finding the stuff that works. And strengthening that, and just never stopping. It's really, we've never missed a single week of sending out postcards in 18 plus years. So one of the things that Ed and I both know, is that people experience a little bit of marketing pain out there in the world when they go to write that check for marketing, because they don't know if it's going to work. And that's why what we're talking about is things that we know get a result. We're both talking about things that we've done for our clients. PostCardMania has done proven results. And there's a lot of choices out there in the world, a lot of different bells and whistles and things that you can spend your money on. The latest thing that's so cool, that's awesome, that's the best mousetrap, you just want to make sure that you're spending money on things that actually get a result and really work. So we know that your best bet to get a result is for you to know what you're doing and to be able to contribute as a business owner to your marketing. And that's one of the reasons we do these webinars, is to help you to learn what we know about marketing, and we give away our knowledge. Ed does this a lot. Joy's done this for well over a decade before it was popular, and there's so much marketing data on PostCardMania's website where you can empower yourself. And that's the purpose of today's webinar too, is to empower you with some knowledge that you can use and have marketing that's successful. So part of that knowledge is, what is your job as a marketer? I'm going to break it down for you really quick here. It basically breaks down into 4 hats, 4 different jobs. One is lead generation. That's creating people that are interested in your product, capturing those leads, making sure that you have the right forms and the website's done in such a way that those leads actually get captured, enough follow-up actions, because it takes a lot of follow-up. We're going to talk about that at the very end here today. A lot of follow-up actions that results in that final sale. And we're not going to talk about the sale today, but we're going to talk about those other aspects and how important they are and how it all ties into what we're doing. What we are going to talk about today is we're going to talk about lead generation specifically. Now, we define a lead because a lot of people define it differently, but I'll tell you the definition of what we have as a lead. And that's anybody who sees your advertisement and has some slight interest. At that point, they become a lead. And now you've got to capture that identity and make it worth it. Well, and part of that really is your website today. Your website really is you. And today in marketing and advertising, all roads lead to your website. Now we're going to specifically talk about direct mail, but it's really important. You might want to come to some of our other seminars that we do, webinars on your website itself. And there's even a checklist you can get from the Postcard Mania website on how to make sure that website is exactly what it needs to be, so that you get the, when you're driving traffic to it, you actually get those people to convert into leads. Another reason the website's so important is this graph here. Prospects are doing a lot of their own research before they're picking up the phone. You can see the graph, as technology advances, fewer and fewer people are calling to get their questions answered. They figure they can get all their questions answered online. Now you still have to generate that lead somehow. That's why your website has to be set up to capture those identities, and other tools that you use have to be set up to actually capture those identities, and have things you're doing to make sure you capture them, because a lot of people are going to be doing their research on the internet, including your website. In fact, 95% of prospects will visit your website before they contact you. So they get an advertisement of any sort or type. There's a bunch of them that are going to go to your website. 95% of the people that are interested will go to your website. Many of them will leave without any interaction. Some will become leads. So it's really important you make sure that you have your website set up in such a way that actually collects those identities with contact forms and such. So we're going to talk specifically in part one of this webinar about how to drive leads to your website using direct mail. And I'm going to get into the direct mail portion, then we're going to talk about Facebook right after that. So here's a few stats on direct mail. First off, a broad general average, direct mail yields an average 13-to-1 return on investment. Now that's every single industry across the field. Now we can actually tell you specifically what kind of results you would get in your industry, because we definitely catalog those results, and we'll give you some more specific data with regards to your industry. Now with regards to pay-per-click or email, direct mail actually gets a 900% better response rate than those two, because those like spam emails that people send out and that type of thing. As far as now, 60% of consumers say that they've visited a promoted website because of direct mail that they've received, and 75% of consumers said that they've tried a business for the first time because of direct mail advertising. So it's working today, and it still is getting a result, and then we're going to show you exactly how to use it to do it right. The first step, and this will be true of Facebook too, is to pinpoint your market. What is the income that you're going for? What type of people are you looking to reach? Specific businesses or types of individuals, possibly families with children, etc. You really need to pinpoint and name your audience that you're trying to attract. There's a lot of people out there. If you really look at all the people in the areas that you could service, babies, small children, adults, older people, etc., there's a lot of people. You can actually just visualize how many people that is. Now, out of that, there are specific demographics that you want to go after. Very specific, and you can really target who you want to go after, both with direct mail and with Facebook. You can really zero in, and some of those people are going to need your services right now, and some of them are going to need them later. And that's great. You want to target all those people so that you can get the people who need it now, and so you're starting to get into the mind of the people who will need it a bit later. There's lots of different types of lists, and Ed's going to go over more specifically how to target using Facebook. But if you're using postcards, you want to target using either, you got a few different options. A consumer list, which you can get very specific with, an industry classification list called the SIC list, an opt-in list where people have opt-in to receive information on different products, or a subscriber list, like from different magazines that they may have subscribed to, so you know that what their interests are, like people who read golf magazines or people that read certain trade magazines, etc. You might be able to target in or zero in on them. Here's a couple questions to ask though when you're buying a mailing list. How often is the list provider's database updated? Just so you know, the right answer would be constantly. Is deliverability guaranteed? Do you guarantee at least 90% deliverability? Now on the stuff, if it goes over 90% that doesn't get delivered, will you refund postage on bad addresses as well as the cost of the bad address? And then, can I reuse the list? Now the last one's important because repetition's a big deal in advertising. You're not going to actually do a good job marketing to somebody unless you market to them repeatedly. And it's just really vital. So you want to make sure that list can be reused. So now, two things first with regards to direct mail postcard design. The first thing is you want to design your ads with the recipient in mind. It's a funny story that Joy tells about a customer of hers who sold a wrinkle cream, and for Halloween he had ghouls on his website. Now, that's not really advertising with your audience in mind, for sure. And so some advice was given to him to change that, some other advice on how to correct his website. He's very successful. So you want to think with who you're advertising to and how they're going to view what it is you're sending them so that you're doing it with them in mind. The next point has to do with eye trail. So in composition, you're working not only with the mood, but you're also of the piece, but with the eye trail. The eye trail is vital to the layout of a design. The eye must go somewhere, i.e. start at the top and it follows down and follow down. Where it starts and where it goes is called the eye trail. And right here you get into the basic formula of attract interest message. The eye trail should lead one, pull one, involuntarily through attract interest message. So I'll give you some examples. So an eye trail on a postcard should take you through the headline to the image, through the headline, through the copy, the offer, and then finally to the call to action. You don't want to send somebody's attention all over the place, where their attention sent off in too many different directions at once, and they don't get what it is that you're trying to communicate. They just don't get it. Here's an example of bad eye trail. Now the reason this is bad is you've got the girl who is in the advertisements, the very first thing that you see, but she's looking and her face is pointed out of the advertising. So it doesn't pull you into the postcard and through the postcard. Here's how you would do that correctly. So here we've just simply flipped the image and we got good eye trail. She looks at the headline, and so your eyes go there next, and then down to the offer and such. Here's some bad eye trail. The guys are looking out of the advertisement. They're facing out of the advertisement. They don't direct your attention back into what the offer is. Just by flipping it, you can correct all that. Now I look at the people, then I look at the offer, and then I'm down to the call to action. So now we're going to go into the exact things that you want to have in place to design a postcard or any marketing piece that works. So these are the 10 elements of an effective postcard design. Number one is a clear, bold headline. So it needs to be clear and bold and it needs to tell you exactly what it is the person's going to be receiving. 8 out of 10 people actually read headlines, and only 2 out of 10 will read the rest. So your headline is really vital, and it should give a good, clear communication as to what it is you're up to. Now, this particular postcard gives no clear and bold headline. There's simply, just kind of send your attention all over the place. Doesn't really tell you what's up. I'm flipping through the mail and I see this, and I don't really, it doesn't pull me in and tell me what it is that you're offering. Another one with a bad example. I'm still looking at it, trying to figure out what it is the person's selling. Another bad example. Doesn't really hit me with what it is. I mean, I kind of got the idea because the picture is good. They're probably talking about security or something. In fact, then I looked through and I could see that, but they could have very easily communicated that very nicely with a good headline. This is a good example. It only takes one break-in to lose everything you love, right? And so then we got a good image and everything, but that headline really grabs you and tells you exactly what it is, and it's very clear and very bold. Now this is both good and bad because it doesn't really say what it is that we're talking about, and you really have to look to figure out what it is they're selling. It's somebody's bright idea. I mean, it's cute, it's a bright idea, it's a pretty card, but the imagery and the message of the headline just really doesn't make it as far as a good communication. The next point is you want a graphic that supports the message. Now, a lot of dentists use smiling people, and that's great for dentists. Whatever it is you're doing, you want to make sure you have an image that really communicates and supports the message. Now, this is both good and bad. It could be a little bit confusing. I mean, it's kind of, you get the idea, but it's a little bit confusing, a little bit too creative. This is just bad. You really get kind of confused as to what it is exactly you're supposed to take away from this image. After looking at it for a few minutes, you could probably guess, but you don't want graphics that are going to confuse people and make them have to think too much. Another bad example. Yeah, I guess he's doing pools. I don't know. It's just that the image doesn't fit in really well with what it is he's selling. This is actually for varicose veins, spider veins. And so, okay, we got a dog. This is something that the client insisted upon, but it's really just a confusing message. It really is. This is much better. It actually shows a foot that needs help and a foot that is better, actually, within the same graphic. And so you've got a good communication here. It definitely supports what it is he's selling. The next point is colors that pop. So here we've got great colors that pop off the page that really attract that person's attention. Another good example. Good colors, very bright, definitely attracts people's attention. This, although it's a pretty card, is dull. It's just kind of dull. It doesn't really pull you in. Could have been, it's pretty, it's nice, it's definitely a needed service and definitely a wanted service, but it just needs something more to make it really pop. Again, this is dull. This just kind of, the same color, different shades of it across the card, not really popping off the page to attract your attention. Another example, a bit dull, doesn't get your attention. Good example. We got some nice red, we got the money in there, the red against the white, the black's really popping out of there actually, so you can even use a simple thing to have colors that pop. The next point is subheadlines that lead into text. So here we've got subheadlines that actually pull you in further and lead you into the text. You want to have that to go ahead and take advantage of some of those people that are going to read everything, and but it's all part of that eye trail thing as well, pulling people in and pulling them through. There's no subheadlines here. It's just a bunch of text on the card, nothing to tell me where to start per se, and pull me in and through. Again, no subheadlines that are actually going to pull me through. A lot too much text. Here's a good example. It tells me exactly what it is I'm going to be reading about. It's a good, good solid subheadline. Leads me right into the text. Okay, so the next point is benefits, benefits, benefits. Here we're talking about benefits versus features. A lot of people will list their features of what it is they're offering, but not say what's in it for the person. So some examples on this page here are, we've got 7 doctors. That's a feature. So what's the benefit? The benefit is more appointment times available. Great. That's the benefit. You have to state that as well. Or you've got great coverage available. Good. What's the benefit? Protect your family and property. So very clearly you want to state not just the feature, but also state the benefit. Now, some features, just so you know, are benefits, like family owned and operated. Well, that says that you're stable, that you're in the area, that you're a good business. It says certain things to me, or serving the local area since a certain time period. That says maybe you know the area, again, that you're a stable business, etc. That you're not going to be leaving anytime soon. So sometimes features are benefits, but you definitely have to make sure to ensure you're stating your benefits. This is a good example. Got some good benefits here. Now, this is really only features. And also, some of these terms, this is a landscaping card, some of these terms are actually confusing, or trade names that I have no idea what they are. So they really don't communicate to me at all as a potential purchaser. It's just a whole list of features and no real benefits that are listed. Another example, bad example. Only features. Here's a good example. We got the benefits. What do they get out of it? Right? Freely spendable capital. No finance or collateral necessary. These are benefits of the service. Now here they've got the features and the benefits listed. So digital x-rays for accurate results with less radiation. So they've listed the feature, but then they've explained why that's important and why that's important for the person. The next point is the offer. The offer has to be really these days something the person can't refuse. And sometimes we actually catalog what does and doesn't work for people and what gets the best results. Sometimes you have to have more than one offer. Like for instance, dentists want to have 2 or more offers on their cards for the best possible results. And we catalog a lot of those different, that information for different industries. Now here on this card, there's no offer whatsoever. So we had nothing that's going to make the person go ahead and reach now. Now this is both a good and a bad example. Here we have like 1 free treatment. Okay, that's good. I like that. That's something, we like our free stuff, don't we? Like our free Wi-Fi and our other free stuff. Now this other one, 5% off treatment, that's not a very good offer. Nobody's really going to do much of anything for 5% off, right? It's just not a good offer, but the free treatment is. Now with regards to offers in general, I'll just give you a quick little tip here. If you can offer it, a BOGO is the ultimate offer. If on a $100 item, buy one, get one free, wins over $50 off or 50% off. Buy one, get one gets a 40% better response than either of the other offers. But if you can't offer a BOGO, we'll tell you that dollars off works better than percentage off. 42% of consumers found that money off was preferable to percentage off and free shipping. And 50% dollars off generated 170% more revenue and a 72% better conversion rate than 15% off in another test. So dollars works better than percentage, just so you know. Here's some examples. Free tickets for the zoo for every new patient. Awesome. How about this one? A free teeth whitening. That's great. $500 value. Or a free consultation. That's a great offer. Come in, find out what's up. A free spa card. That's awesome. Well, yeah, I guess, I'm torn between which roofer I'm going to choose, but this one wants to give me a day at a spa as well. Well, that makes me lean a little bit in his direction, right? All other things being equal. How about this? A free outdoor lighting package. BOGO, right? Buy one, get one. Free registration, maybe for a school or dance classes. Free fair market home value assessment. Great for real estate people where they can give somebody an assessment for free of their home as part of capturing them as a client. A free dinner at Ruth's. Awesome. $100 in free boxes with your first move. Great. Hey, there's a good one for tax guys. Guaranteed highest legal amount of possible deductions. A great offer. So now 789 are your company name and logo, your return address, and your contact information. You just want to make sure you include these always. Makes you look more professional. You obviously have to have some way for people to contact you, and you, of course, want to include your branding. And finally, a call to action. At the end of the day, you have to tell people what to do. So what do they do now? They've seen your offer, they've seen everything else, but what is the next step? And you tell them. Tell them to call. Call today. Now this card's got a lot of great information, but no call to action. Doesn't tell the person what to do next. Again, no call to action. Great benefits, other information in there, but no call to action. Yeah, it's a lot of money to spend off to not tell people what to do. This has a good call to action. Call or visit us online today. So here's all 10 of those points. You can actually, we're going to send you this PowerPoint. If you request it, we'll give you an opportunity to request it at the end of the webinar today. But you can just use this as a checklist to actually just take a look and figure out exactly, what points you have in, what points you have out, so you can correct those things. So great. A couple things to ask yourself right before you send out that card to review. Is the message I want to convey immediately obvious to my reader? Is it really communicating what I want to communicate? Will this message resonate with my target audience? Am I highlighting the benefits or the features of my product or service? Am I making my prospects an offer they can't refuse? Do I have an easy, direct call to action with clear contact information? And does the I trail the card lead me to the offer and to the call to action? So great. So that's it on the postcard side. Now Ed's going to take us through lead generation on the Facebook side of things. Ed,
Yes. Yeah, I'm here. How you doing?
Good.
Okay, so Barry, so thank you for that. I think you all can see that PostCardMania definitely has proven strategies on how to use postcards and direct mail. As David Ogilvy, the father of modern advertising, said, direct mail is a secret weapon. But we do know that we live in this world where everybody is staring at a mobile device. In fact, 80% of all online searches now are being done either through a mobile device, like an iPhone or an iPad or some similar company brand device. And I tell people that want to know why they should be advertising on Facebook, no matter where I go, I tell them to look around. Go to a library, go to a college campus, go to a Starbucks, go to an airport, And what is everybody, and I almost mean everybody, including the kids, staring at? They're staring at a mobile device. And whether I travel to St. Louis or Florida, Arizona, Nevada, California, Denmark, Ireland, when you get off the plane or you're talking to people or you're looking over their shoulder, many of them are on social media, particularly Facebook and YouTube. So, as my father would say, you need to fish where the fish are. And people are on Facebook. In fact, the numbers are overwhelming. You can go to the next slide. I mean, we have 128 million people in America on Facebook every single day, and they're on there for like an hour. So it's not only that a lot of people are there, your audience is there, and they're hanging out there for a long time. The average statistic is that the average American spends 59 seconds, excuse me, on a website, but almost an hour on Facebook. So they are sitting there going through that stream where you can place your ads. Next slide. So we've got, I mean, look at these numbers. Even older people, 65 years and older, on Facebook, between 50 and 64, are on Facebook. It's beyond everybody. So, you know, this idea that, well, Facebook is only for young people, everybody, no matter what age group. If you're selling to retired people, they're on Facebook. One of my clients sells investments to older people, and we're generating from 20 to 30 leads per month by reaching older retirees through Facebook. So it is possible to reach everybody on Facebook. Next slide. Now, the problem with Facebook over the last recent years is, you know, you think, okay, well, it's free. I'll just post my stuff and I'll reach the organic user. But unfortunately, Facebook is suppressing your organic content. Next slide. What's happening is that 5% of the people that you're posting to are seeing your content. So this presents a problem within Facebook. So if you've got 1,000 followers, you think, oh, I'm going to post something and I'll reach everybody. I'll reach 1,000 people. More than likely, you're reaching about 20 to 50 people. This is why we have to boost or use sponsored ads to not only reach your 1,000 people, but to reach beyond. Just like a postcard, how can we reach your target audience? Next slide. So statistics have shown that really what Facebook is in it for is for themselves. So because they're now a public company, they've got to make money, they've got to report to the stockholders, and so now their model is moving away from organic posts, and they have to charge you money as a business if they want to continue to increase their revenue. Next. So again, with the Facebook Ad Manager, you can create ads with specific objectives. Boost your post, promote your page. You can send people to your website, install apps, reach people near your business, meaning geolocational, get people to claim your offer, get people to watch your videos, or just collect leads. So there's all these options. Primarily what we try to do is we want to get leads for your business. Next slide. So what can we do? Now, I jokingly say, and I don't mean this too humorously because it's true, Facebook knows more about us than the CIA and the NSA. They not only collect a lot of data in our habits within Facebook, but Facebook goes out and buys data and adds that. So they can tell me audience size, what you're interested in, what you've liked, and specifically, I like motorcycles. So I'm seeing a lot of motorcycle ads for motorcycle helmets. So based on consumer behavior, we can decide where they live, what they like, what they don't like, what do they subscribe to, what fan pages they like, do they like perfume, do they like shoes, and based on this consumer behavior, we can put your ad in front of people who are more likely to buy your product or service. Next ad. Oh, there we go. Now, we can also upload your database. So let's say you have a database of 10,000 people. We upload that list, and as long as that email in your database matches their email within Facebook, we can not only target your audience within your email database, but we can find people like people in your database. We call that similar audience. So let's say you've been building an email list for a couple of years and you get 10,000 people. Well, not only can we target your email database through Facebook, but people that are like them. It's an awesome feature. Next. Now, we also use not only targeted audience ad, but local saturation. This is great for brick and mortar, or I live here in Las Vegas, to capture people that are visiting. So, you know, I may be a brick and mortar business that wants to reach people within, let's say, 3 miles, but like I had a client that has a tattoo shop here in Vegas, and it is right by the strip. So as people were visiting, he was targeting people that were visiting, going, hey, now that you're in Vegas, get a tattoo while you're in Vegas. So we can specifically target people that live within that geo zone, or people that are visiting and drive business that are like tourists or visitors. Next slide. So we can reach people near your business. Again, this is what we would call a local awareness ad. Now, if you're an e-commerce business, this may not matter to you, but if you're got a brick and mortar business, or you're a life coach and you want to reach people that you can actually drive and go see or have a coffee with, we can limit your ads within a geo-specific area. Next slide. We select your radius, your age range, and whatever else you want to do, and Facebook will tell us how many people we can reach. Now, we can do a combination of people with your email list that live within 5 or 10 miles, that are a particular age group. We can set all these different filters so that we reach exactly who we want to reach. Next slide. This just kind of gives you some more examples of the radius: 1 mile, 3 miles, 5 miles, or custom miles. Again, and we constantly can target those people. So this is great for announcing events. Maybe you have an open house, you're a realtor, and you want to reach people within 3 miles to come in. So, hey, I'm announcing my open house. You live close by. Why don't you come and look at the home? Next ad. Look at this. We can determine mobile devices, Android devices only, desktop. So even by device, we can select your ad. Next slide. Daily budget. Minimum budget is $5, but what we recommend is a minimum of $20, and I'll tell you why. There's a certain amount of impressions you're going to want to make. I'll give you an example. We have a realtor who's a digital farm, if you will. Their audience that we're targeting is 3,500 people. If we only spend $5, we're not going to make many impressions. If we spend $20 to $30 a day, we can make an impression 6 to 7 times a week, meaning once a day, upon those 3,500 people. Repetition of message is important. Next. Okay, so now this is an ad example where you can see at the top of the ad, right below ABC Dentistry, it says sponsored. Sponsored means that that person has paid for it. And we can take images or videos and whatever copy, and then below it says learn more, which we're driving them to the website. So anybody will tell you that driving traffic to the website is crucial. But if you just wait for people to find it, it's not going to happen. Facebook, along with the postcards, is a proactive way to drive traffic. Next slide. So as you can see, we can select the action, call now, get directions, learn more, send message, and then drive them either to a landing page, a lead capture page, or your home page or a particular site within your blog or website. Next. So in this ad, you see call now. So this may lead to a page with a big phone number and you want to get that phone to ring. So I hear from a lot of businesses, man, I just need leads, I need my phone to ring. Well, guess what? With a Facebook ad, we can tell them to call you. So we can get that phone ringing. Next. Again, we can get website traffic, build your list. There are so many variations within Facebook. And this is when we take on a client, we really sit down before we ever place an ad or spend the dollar. We will spend hours with you developing the exact strategy, the exact call to action, the exact thing to do. And then we can also test these ads. We'll run variations. We call this A/B testing. We can take your budget, run 2 different ads, and then see which one works better. And then, of course, the one that works better, we drop the one that doesn't. Here's some examples of big brands that are using Facebook. Hotels.com, Fortune 500 companies know that Facebook is the place to be. And if you listen to Gary Vaynerchuk, which is the #1 expert on social media, he was asked if he could choose just one method of digital marketing, what would it be? And he said like 10 times, Facebook, Facebook, Facebook. Facebook is without a doubt the biggest way to drive traffic to a landing page and then turns into a lead or a phone call. Next slide. Here's an excellent example of a paid ad. As you can see, they have a specific offering, shop now. It takes them right to the page where they can actually make the purchase. So, if you've got e-commerce products or apps, you can actually have people download right there from Facebook. Or if you're a small local business and you just want an identity, they can autofill the form, click, go, and next thing you know, you're alerted in your email and your text in real time when the lead comes in. So literally, you can go from Facebook to your lead page, fill out the information, and you're alerted within minutes so that you can follow up in real time. Next slide.
Oops, 1 second. There you
go. Okay, this is a great example of kind of an organic ad. New York Times here is, obviously trying to drive traffic to their page. So sometimes, when you want traffic to a blog post, you can, how do I get traffic to my blog post? Here, the New York Times is not necessarily looking for a lead, but trying to drive traffic to keep their newspaper relative. So you can use this to drive traffic to your latest blog post, your latest YouTube video, your latest offering. There's so many different ways that we can use paid Facebook ads to drive traffic and awareness for your brand. Next slide. Okay, here's a very simple offer. Take advantage of something, fill out the form, and next thing you know, you've got somebody on the other end going, hey, I want to schedule for your $279 offering. So again, this is a direct offering for a paid service to generate a new customer. This is really great. Our top clients are doctors, realtors, and financial professionals. Like I said, we've worked with tattoo shops, I've worked with schools, I've worked with all types of businesses. But if you're a business that's got to turn and burn a lot of leads and a lot of new patients and customers on a monthly basis, Facebook is a great way to do that. Okay, so here they're trying to generate subscribers, and they know that if they grow their email list, this begins the beginning of the marketing cycle. So sometimes people just want to offer free things, get them in their email database, and then a whole drip campaign will launch from there, and we'll make the offerings, because gathering the identity is a key factor. for a lot of brands.
Cool. And good. We're gonna answer some more. We're gonna answer some questions too in just a minute. We're gonna wrap up with follow up, right? Because I mean, Ed, you know that after we create these ads, then there's got to be follow up action, whether it's through further email, further Facebook ads, additional postcards, email newsletter, blog, video, etc. There are a lot of things you have to do to follow up with a person to make sure that you actually get that lead to become a paid customer. It may take a few contacts. In fact, I think here's a couple quotes on follow-up specifically. He says one of the essence of PR and promotion is that you have to pound the same message home time and time again, and that's from the Hubbard Management System, L. Ron Hubbard, on repetition of message. As Seth Godin says, any single ad, no matter how compelling, is almost never enough to sell your product. And finally, J. Conrad Levinson says, if you don't believe in your product, or if you're not consistent and regular in the way you promote it, the odds of succeeding go way down. So that's all about follow-up. People that big names in marketing will tell you again and again how important follow-up is. And here's some stats we've collected on it. This is from, you can see the actual report on this on followupsuccess.com, but you can say 2% of the sales are made on the first contact, but 80% of the sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. So it doesn't mean just getting on the phone. It also means other ways that you contact and follow up with those people. There are a lot of different ways you can do it. Email, social media, direct mail, and of course phone calls. You shouldn't be shy about picking up that phone. You definitely have to do that. In fact, when you get a lead, this is a pretty startling statistic here from Inside Sales. When you get a lead sent to you from Facebook or from your website, you actually need to follow up on that lead within 5 minutes. Your chances, you can see the chances of reaching the person if you reach within 5 minutes versus waiting more than 5 minutes, between 5 and 10 minutes. Your odds of reaching that person has gone dramatically down. So it's so key. I mean, I know that we recommend that somebody is there to receive those leads via email or on the phone. You've got to have somebody picking up the phone to handle those prospects when they become a prospect, when they become a lead. And I think, Ed, you even have it dinging on somebody's phone right directly to their phone when a Facebook lead comes in. Is that right?
Oh yeah, no, we tell people that speed is the new black.
Yeah.
You've got, I mean, it's like, these aren't the days of you leave a message, call back the next day. It literally is call them within 5 to 10 minutes at the most, because if not, they're on the internet looking for the next guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't tell you how many people like I was looking for a handyman down here in Florida to get something done in my new place, right? And good. I dealt with the first guy that called me back. He sounded good, and I was like, well, he was the first one that called me back. That's the guy that got my business. So it's really, and that's happened to me time and time again. The first guy I reach is very much likely the one I'm going to end up doing business with. So hey, we got a couple offers. One is we've got 25% off on any order of 5,000 cards or more that expires in the next 14 days. So we would offer that to you. That's receive up to 25% off on any order of 5,000 or more postcards. And again, that expires within the next 14 days. Now you can call this phone number real quick, and somebody will take care of you, or you can shoot me an email. And by the way, if you have a question for Ed specifically after this, that's great. Send me an email. I'll make sure he gets those questions. And if you want to shoot us an email, I'll make sure that you get a copy of this presentation. Now, if you have any questions for either one of us, here's our email addresses. And then if anybody wants to pipe in with a question on either Facebook or postcards, you can do that right now. And I got one question here for you.
Yeah.
People have heard about this thing called the dark post. Sounds mysterious and evil. What is it?
A dark post really means it's looking like organic content in their feed, but really it's a sponsored post. So what we're trying to do is mimic organic content and provide information, but it's obviously paid and sponsored. Dark meaning that, and the reason why it's referred to as a dark post is that it will not show up on your business page. It will only show up in the feed of those who are, the target audience. So what can happen is you can run dark post A to, let's say, women, dark post B, which is a separate ad, to men, and the target audience is only seeing the ad that was intended for them. So it's dark to everybody else except the intended audience.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Good. I got one question here for me, asking if we do all the different parts of a mailing. Yeah, we do everything, by the way. We do everything from the design, we print it, we make sure that you get the best possible list. We're very picky about our lists, and we actually have two pieces of software we run every mailing through to make sure you get all possible discounts from the post office and get the best possible rate, bulk rate on the postage that postcards that we send out for people. So we do every piece of it. We even do every door direct mail or saturation mailings from here for people in their neighborhoods. And then we basically really dig in on making sure you know exactly what offers are going to work in your industry, how much the frequency of the mailing needs to be, all those different pieces. So we do it all. Absolutely. I think that's it on the questions. Ed, do you have anything else you want to mention?
No, I mean, there's so much information about Facebook. I mean, I've scratched 1% of what can be done. I just wanted to give an overview, but they can reach out to me through email or you, and be more than happy to sit down with them and talk about strategy and how can make it work very well for them.
Fantastic. All right, great. Well, Ed, thanks for joining us, and thanks everybody in the audience for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.